Our I can statement is n20. I can solve problems using the 4 operations with rationals. Today we're going to practice the steps of the order of operations. So we start with parentheses first, then exponents, and then we multiply and divide in order from left to right. So that's something that some students can get mixed up on, but multiplication and division are done at the same step. They're considered equal. And then finally we will add and subtract. So those two happen together at the same step as well, and they happen from left to right. All right, so we're going to list off the steps. Our first step is to compute the numbers inside the parentheses. So 4.5 minus 23.43. And as a result, we get negative 18.93. So if we take this 18.93 and replace it in our number sentence, we get 2.3 plus negative 18.93 divided by 2.1. Our next step is to compute the division here, because division comes next. So negative 18.93 divided by 2.1. And that gives us a nice long decimal, 9.0142, and it goes on for a while. But since we know for our final answer we're rounding to the nearest hundredth place, as long as I have a couple of digits past that, I'm good to go. So for my final step, all I have left is the 2.3 plus the negative 9.0142 stuff that we found in our previous answer. And since commutative property works for addition, if you still have that negative 9.0142 stuff in your calculator, you can go ahead and just press plus 2.3, and then that will give you our answer. Now our answer is negative 6.7142, so on and so forth, but we're running to the nearest hundredth place. So the 1 is in the hundredth place, the 4 is going to tell me what to do with that 1, and since it's less than 5, it's going to stay, and so we're going to get negative 6.71 as our final answer. Try this one on your own. Make sure that you list each of the steps, but remember that you can use the calculator to help you with each individual step. All right, so here's my evidence. My first step in red was computing inside the parentheses. My second step in blue was computing the division. And then my third step in black was computing the multiplication. And this is what I got for my final answer, 1 17/28. Now, even though we're practicing writing out the steps step by step, you can always use your calculator to double check your final answer. So you could type this entire number sentence, including parentheses, that's very important, into your calculator, and if you do that, you will get the same final answer. So you can use that to check your work on your assignment tonight. Okay, try the next one on your own and check the steps. All right, so here's my evidence. My first step was computing the multiplication here in the middle. My second step was taking that result and dividing it by the negative 0.2. And then my third result, finally, was computing the subtraction with my final result being negative 269.13. Try this last one on your own. I will give you a hint. For the parentheses, there are going to be 2 steps before you move on to the rest of the problem. All right. So my first step was to do the multiplication inside of the parentheses. Then my second step, as illustrated in the blue, was to do the addition inside the parentheses. And as a result of the second step, I now have one number, 13 over 27, that represents everything that was inside of the parentheses. So I've substituted that into the next equation. My third step was then to do the addition with 1 7/9 and our substitute for the parentheses 13 over 27. And then my last and final step in the black was then to subtract 3 2/9 from my answer to get negative 26 over 27. There are a lot of steps for these, so make sure that you take the time. Look at one step, make sure you understand, pause it, then move on to the next step. Look at the notes that I've given, and make sure that you understand how to do each of these problems step by step. Remember to use the calculator to type the entire number sentence in so that you can double check to make sure you're getting the correct final result. Thanks for watching.